This is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com. You're joining me today as I'm getting ready to pack up my home for a giant move. So lucky for you, I'm going to share with you all of my tips and tricks because I've moved so many times, I've got this thing down to a science. You're going to need a few supplies. So what are those supplies? You know what? I went through a company called Uline, U-L-I-N-E, and I've ordered a lot of my moving supplies from this company. So I've ordered a giant box of markers, and trust me, you're going to need an entire box because what winds up happening is you're going to set one down, you won't be able to find it, so a nice box full is going to be great for you. Things get kind of messy when you're packing. And then I have some newsprint. Mine happens to be 24 by 36. This newsprint is really great for putting into boxes so that the edges don't crush on you in the move. So this is a really great thing to have. From there, I have 4 gigantic rolls of bubble wrap. And my bubble wrap is 1/2 inch thick bubble wrap. Now, I don't use the thin bubble wrap because the thin bubble wrap is really used for, protecting surfaces for light use. This is going to be going over bumpy roads, so I'm making sure that all of my possessions are really well protected with 1/2 inch bubbles. From there, I have all kinds of packing tape, and the packing tape that I have here comes in giant packs, and I have a little tape holder here too that you're going to need, and this makes it really great for taping up boxes. It's going to make quick and easy work for you. Now, I know this type is available at the store, which is really expensive. It has a little dispenser, but you know what? You're going to be spending so much time wrestling with this little thing, you're going to want to throw it out the window by the end of the day, or even sooner than that. The other thing I have are these little airbags, and so this is just recycled materials that I'm using here. Anytime something comes in the mail, I save these, and the great thing is they're perforated, and you can put these in here and there throughout a box just to take up extra space. You want that box packed nice and tight. The other thing I have a whole roll of white labels, and the great thing about the white labels is that if you have a dark colored box that you need something written on, you can now do it on this white label. It's really sticky and it'll stay in place for you throughout the move. I also have a pair of heavy-duty scissors. Now, the heavy-duty scissors are for cutting boxes or cutting any of your materials down to whatever size that you need. So that's something really great to have on hand as well. So let's talk about boxes. Now, there are several places that you can get boxes. You can go on Craigslist. You can see if someone else has just recently moved and you can go and pick up their boxes. You can go to donation sites on U-Haul where there's like a free box exchange. Now, I tried both of those methods and couldn't find any. I'm assuming everybody's in this boat. So the way that I did it was I went to my local stores. So a few great stores to go to are your grocery stores. Now, your grocery stores are going to have boxes like this. So these are liquor boxes. The great thing about liquor boxes is that you can put, if you have a bar, you can put liquor in them. They have these dividers in them already. So if there's something that'll fit in there, if you have bottles, if you have glassware, you can actually put them right into the box and let it go, and make sure that everything is going to be nice and secure. Kirkland's is a wonderful place to go because they have all different kinds of boxes for anything from pictures to any of their giant pieces of decorative wear. So I've gotten a lot of collapse boxes from Kirkland's. And then the other place that I've gone is my local grocery store that has a bunch of meat products. And I know what you're thinking, the meat products are probably going to make for a dirty box. But you know what? Everything is covered on the inside. It's a really great size. Most of the things that I've seen as far as if there's chicken inside or if there's any kind of meat, this is about the size box you're going to get. Really perfect for moving, and I'm really grateful to have them really close by. So make sure that you check all those places. It did take me a few days to get everything assembled, but now that I have everything here, I'm ready to go. So let's start packing our boxes. So I have long stemware here, and the stemware I'm just going to place inside this little divider area. From that point, I can rip off a perforated section of 12 by 12 bubble wrap, and I'm going to place a smaller glass in the very center of that. And then I could take the bubble wrap, wrap it up into the rim of the glass, and place it directly on top. And that is really going to take up most of the space from top to bottom in all of these boxes. by the time I have all this done, there's still about a ½ inch between the top of the glass and the actual top of the box. So I want to protect all this glassware. I'm ripping off another sheet of bubble wrap, placing it inside, and then going ahead and closing off the box. Now once the box is closed, I'll take my tape dispenser, sticky side down, just like that, and that's perfect. And the last thing I need to do is make sure that I label this correctly. And the way to label it correctly is you're going to label the room first. So this is going to be basement, curio cabinet, bar. So now that it's labeled correctly with the location that it's going in the home, the location that it's going in the cabinet, and the area of the basement where the bar is. So I have 3 locations here for this box, and I know exactly what's going to be inside. Now this curio cabinet is a different story because this one contains all kinds of items that are dissimilar. So they're different weights, they're different materials, they're different sizes, and so you might be wondering how to actually approach what kind of box you're going to use and how you're going to wrap all of these items to make sure that none of them get damaged. So the size box that I'm using today is about this size, and the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of the items are mostly lightweight. There are a couple heavy items, so this box isn't going to become too heavy to actually manage. And the way I'm doing this, I'm starting out with this recycled piece of, I don't even know what it is. There's like a fabric inside of here, but it's going to take up any kind of absorption from any of the bumps in the road where I don't want any of this stuff getting broken. So this is going laid right in the bottom of the box. The next thing I'm going to do, so I have this piece of ceramic ware. It's a little bit heavy, and I'm just going to take a couple sheets of the paper and I'm going to wrap it really well with the paper. And making sure that I'm tucking it into that opening because you don't want things dropping into the opening and breaking the item apart. So that's a real key for getting this stuff to kind of stay together over the course of the move. So I have a small lamp as well, and I'm just going to take this apart, and anytime you're packing a lamp, you're going to want to do this, whatever shade you have. Take out the bulbs, make sure that you're going to be wrapping these really securely too. So this is also going to be wrapped in some paper. So let's just go ahead and kind of set this in place in the box as well. So I'm choosing more pottery items. I'm only going to choose a few of them to make sure that I don't get this overweight. I don't want to break my back getting this up the stairs and out to the new house. So the box is full of heavyweight items on the bottom. The next layer is going to be medium weight items, and then I'll finish off with lightweight items till I reach the top of the box. Now all my lightweight items are in the box, and as you can see, I have all 4 corners here packed to the top, or as close to the top as you can get. That's the most important part of this entire box because this is where your strength comes from. You don't want this to crush. If you don't have something in all 4 corners, your box has a potential to crush and break everything inside. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and put in some bubble wrap over the top of that lampshade, and then I can go ahead and put in one last piece of paper along the edges. And now this box is ready to be closed. So everything is labeled properly, and look at my stance here. I'm going to show you how heavy this box is. This isn't ladylike, but this is the way you need to position yourself in order to lift a box and not break your back. So you're just going to go ahead. You see, this is not heavy, it's not too heavy, it's just right. It's not too light either, because if it's too light, it's a problem too. So make sure that you pack your boxes like this and nothing inside is going to break. Now I really like to box up all of my artwork, and the reason why is because, you know, it's a lot easier to handle versus wrapping it in a blanket and maybe sticking it in the back of your vehicle. It's something that can be, you know, loosened up and kind of moved around if that's the case. So I really want to make a secure environment for my artwork. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tape up a flattened box. So this is just a box that you can kind of open on all fours. It's normally a square. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to actually tape it together on one end. Now that it's taped up on the other side, I can go ahead and open it up and put down directly into the opening. Now that it's inside, I can go ahead and tip it up. And I know exactly where it has to go. This is packing up all of your soft items, so your pillows, comforters, blankets, towels, anything like that. I never put them in boxes, and it's because I like to kind of keep this stuff pliable so that when you're packing up your truck, you can kind of put them here and there and make sure that things aren't going to shift around along the way on the move. So the way that I do this is I get contractor cleanup bags. Now, contractor cleanup bags are really a heavy mill, and they're not going to puncture through. They're a little bit bigger than most normal bags, and so what I tend to do here is, this is another great thing, a use for the white labels. So it's got this little flap on here, and this is normally what you use to tie it all together, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to rip off one of these labels and apply it to this little lip on the bag. And I'm going to make a label for whatever room it goes in, and it's going to make it really easy to find and really know exactly where it has to go in the new place. Now, this is the perfect size for oversized pillows, blankets, or comforters, and you can kind of see here, it's not going to be too big. It's going to wind up being just the perfect size for you to be able to lift it off and actually put this into areas around your truck where you don't want things to shift around. I have 4 last-minute tips before I leave you. The first one deals with using garbage bags for things other than soft pillows. So I have a bunch of table runners on hangers, and I'm going to put these inside of this garbage bag and have them lay nice and flat. Now, what I don't do, I don't have the hangers sticking out the end, because if I do, it's going to get caught on all kinds of things around moving day, and that's just a disaster. Now, you'll notice I left the 2 flaps open just like I did on the other bags because I don't want the bottoms to get crushed on here. And so as I go on moving day, I'm just going to lay these all nice and flat, and I can stack them one on top of the other. If you haven't purchased wardrobe boxes, which are the nice ones that have the rod inside, real cheap and easy way to take care of all of this is with gowns especially are very difficult to move and you don't want them to get ruined. Well, anytime I purchase a gown, I save the plastic bag that it came in because it's extra long. So I can roll this up and keep it in the very top shelf of my closet, out of the way, out of sight until the next moving day. And so I'm just going to do the same thing with this that I did with the table runners. Now you can do this with all of your clothing. So whether you need the long bags or if you need the heavy-duty construction bags, both work perfectly, and you can just stack them as you go. Now, the third tip is make sure you keep all of your electronics boxes. And the reason why is because it comes with pre-molded styrofoam, perfect for that piece of electronic equipment. And you know, I know some of these boxes can get rather large, so make sure that you have attic space or basement space to keep these throughout the year until your next move. And the 4th last-minute tip is to keep all of your collectibles boxes. You know, these things are all molded for all the pieces that you have. So I've got a doll in here, and this isn't going to move around at all and get damaged during the move either. And make sure that you call your moving company or truck rental company as far in advance as possible to get the best rates. Make sure that you also inquire about appliance dollies, furniture dollies, or most importantly would be moving blankets to protect all of your hard furnishings from getting scratched. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video on how to pack a box and pack away all of the rest of your furnishings around your home, making sure that everything is going to arrive nice, safe, and sound. This is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. And if you wind up moving yourself, let me know how it went for you, and I hope that this has helped you in some way so that all of your prized possessions arrive just as they did the day that you left your old house. So good luck to you in your move. Good luck to me in my move. I have about, I don't know, 400 more boxes of these to pack, believe it or not. So join me at the new house where I'll bring you plenty of great projects. It's a farm, so it's going to be a little different for us, and we're really excited. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again in the future.